What if I said that relationships aren't complicated at all? Would you believe me? Relationships in essence are simple, and here's why. As you're walking through life, life provides you with constant mirrors that are always reflecting back something about yourself and your internal environment. So life is really a perfect feedback system for you. Now, relationships fall into this category of mirrors because it's something that materializes in front of you. Anything that materializes in front of you is always a mirror for you. Romantic relationships are the strongest mirrors of all, I like to say. And the reason is because the closer you become to someone, the more detailed that mirror becomes. Just like a real mirror. If I'm 10 feet away from a mirror, I can see the reflection, but not in as much detail as if I'm 10 inches away from a mirror. So the closer I get to a mirror, the more detailed the reflection becomes. And that's the case with romantic relationships. When I love someone deeply, when that person is my partner in life, then they are the most detailed mirrors in my life also. Now, what does this mean? Why do I say then that relationships aren't complicated? Because if you sit in this knowing that your partner is constantly mirroring something about yourself, then everything becomes more simple, doesn't it? Now, I'm going to give you an example that's more concrete. I'm going to come out of this esoteric language and give you a concrete example so that you can see the difference between someone who lives in the knowing that life is a mirror and the person who lives asleep and doesn't want to see this. So here's the scenario. Let's say you're at a party and from across the room you see your partner having a conversation with someone that's really attractive. And you look over, and as they're having the conversation, you see that your partner's really enjoying himself or herself. And you start to feel your blood boil. You're getting angrier and angrier and angrier at the situation. It's making you feel very uncomfortable. And you dash over to your partner and you grab his or her arm and you start this huge argument. There's a blowout argument. You leave the party, you have a horrible argument. And the whole time you're screaming at your partner, your partner's screaming back at you, you did this to me, I can't believe you were talking to this other person, how dare you? And the argument just turns into this whole complicated affair. Now, I'm going to rewind this scenario and show you what it looks like when someone is completely aware. So we rewind back the scenario. You're at this party again. You look over and you see your partner having a conversation with an attractive individual. And right before you take that step to walk over to your partner and start an argument, you take a deep breath, you close your eyes, and you say to yourself, what is my partner mirroring back to me? The moment you ask this question, then you start getting a lot of answers. Perhaps you're really angry because you're jealous. And perhaps you're jealous because in your core, you don't believe yourself to be as good as that attractive person that your partner's talking to. Perhaps you're jealous because in your core, you've always had this fear of being alone, and your partner talking to someone attractive may be threatening to you because your partner may leave you for that other person. So you see, all of these things that are being triggered in you, they are being mirrored by whatever your partner is doing. And the moment you see this, you've now avoided an explosive argument. But more important than avoiding an explosive argument is that you've seen another part of yourself through your partner's actions. Now, as you see yourself more and more and more in the mirror, as you become more and more aware of how life is so miraculous and is constantly providing you with feedback about your internal environment, then you can walk through life with more clarity and more decisiveness. Because suddenly there's nothing in your internal environment that you are refusing to see. When you walk with the courage to clearly see everything that your partner is mirroring back at you, then your internal environment becomes clearer and clearer and clearer. And as you move through this, you evolve exponentially. So you see, the system really is very simple. And the more you learn how to use it, the less you start using the word complicated. Now, things may not be easy sometimes, but life is simple, including romantic relationships.